Hey there, my plant people. With fall approaching us here in North Texas, this is the time of year that I like to start amending my soil for my Everbearing strawberry patches. See, my kids love strawberries and they love having the convenience of being able to come out and pick their own berries. So with that being said, I grow a lot of strawberries out here in North Texas. Thus, it's one of the ways I keep them interested in learning about growing is because I grow what they love. But to get our strawberries nice and happy for the spring season, we need to do a little bit of pre-work first. These strawberry plants typically go dormant during the winter months, and then they come back during the spring popping with all of their blooms. But before they go dormant, I like to mix in a nice acidic blend into their soil so that they can have the best foot going forward before we go right into winter. And see, the thing is that strawberries usually like to have a pH of about 6 to 6.2 is an ideal range for your strawberries. See, and typically during your growing season, your soil is always going to eventually go to a more neutral state. It's going to be searching for balance, kind of like the Force in Star Wars. And since our friends over at Living Earth has hooked us up with some azalea mix, we're going to be incorporating that into the strawberries. But before we do, first we need to find our baseline by doing some pH testing on our soil in question, as well as doing some pH testing on the azalea soil. So we, one, know what our baseline is here with our strawberries, and then how much acidity we're adding to it with the azalea blend. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find our baseline pH. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be digging different sections out of this patch so that we can find a median pH. So let's go ahead and dig in to some soil science. And now that we have this soil sample, let's go ahead and mix everything together. And what we're doing here is we're just taking a small section of that soil sample and mixing it in with 5 parts of distilled water so that we can transfer the properties of the soil over into the water so we can easily transfer it to our pH testing kit. Then we're going to mix everything thoroughly. And next we're going to take a small sample size of our azalea soil to know how much acidity we're potentially adding to our soil. And now we're going to be doing the same thing with our acid mix. We're going to be mixing in about a tablespoon of our azalea blend. And then of course we mix. And so now we wait. We're going to wait about 30 minutes, allowing the soil properties to transfer over into the water solution. And while we wait, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, Gray, isn't there an easier way to do this? This seems like a lot of work just to amend your soil for your strawberries. There are digital testers that you can use that will allow you to see your soil pH as well. I just prefer this method because this is the way I've done it and it's always been effective for me. But you do what's best for you. I mean, let's think about it like this. What if you were growing something that really takes a lot of acidity in the soil? Like, for instance, blueberries. You know, as a younger man, how many blueberry plants I killed just because I couldn't get the soil acidity just right? Now let's go check on our soil solution. Now it's been a minimum of 30 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to take a coffee filter and a small shot glass, and we're going to strain out our solution. The first one we're going to do is going to be our baseline. We're just going to pour some in. Now, this is the water that we're going to be testing for the baseline. Now what we're going to be doing is using a 6-way testing kit so that we can test specifically for the pH. The reagent that we're going to be using for the pH is going to be our phenol red. And we're going to be adding 5 drops to our solution. What we're going to do is we're going to be pouring our baseline on this side. We're going to add our 5 drops. Now we've rinsed and dried our measuring container, and now this is our acidic blend, and we're going to be mixing it on the other side. And again, we're going to add our 5 drops. We're going to take and put our cap right over the top, and then we're going to give that a nice shake. And now our results are in. So it looks like on our baseline soil, we're looking at a pH of about 6.8 to about 7.2. So that almost puts it at a neutral state at about 7. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we're looking at about a 3 to a 4 for our pH on our acidic blend. So now that means we know that our baseline soil, pretty much all of the acidity has subsided, and that happens over time, and it's gone back to almost a neutral state. So that 3 to 4 on the pH scale for the azalea soil would be perfect for something that really likes a lot of acid, like azaleas or like blueberries. But for the sake of our strawberries, it's going to be a little bit too high. So more than likely, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to cut that azalea soil and mix in some compost so I can cut it down just a little bit. So now that we have our results from our soil testing, I know exactly where my strawberry soil needs to be before I get them ready to go dormant for the winter. So more than likely, what I'm going to do is a 50-50 split. It's going to be 50% compost and 50% of the azalea soil, so I get that right mixture. Of course, I'll do a soil test after the fact to see exactly what's the pH level on the new mixture. Hey, it's been amazing talking to you as always. I hope you found this information helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.